Good day, I am Louittebelle and for today's video, I am going to tackle the chapter 5 titled Misunderstanding of the Self. A famous Victor Remy in the year of 1975 in his book Misunderstandings of the Self explained that the misconception hypothesis holds that if relevant misconceptions can be modified or eliminated, improved adjustment results. Thus, this chapter will help adolescents learn from their mistakes, help redirect self-perspectives, and to practically find out necessary remedies to self-improvements. So, let's proceed to misconceptions of the self. Have you experienced that feeling that you misunderstood someone or your friend? Just like, for example, your friend says something to you and then you misinterpret it, or you misunderstood what she or said. If you experience that in your life, that's what we call misconceptions. But what do you think is the reason why we experience misconceptions? So, the reason for this is due to lack of knowledge that resulted to poor views and insights. So, our knowledge is not enough that results misunderstanding someone over something. Now, let's proceed to the Johari's window. So, there are 4 window pane of Johari. These are the open self, the blind self, the hidden self, and the unknown self. Let us first discuss the first window pane of Johari, which is the open self. So, when we say open self, it is the information about yourself that you and others know. This part of your personality is well known to you and to others. It is your open or public self. This quadrant shows the behavior, motives, attitudes, knowledge, skills of an individual that he is aware of and is willing to share it with others. The open self is characterized as a state wherein the individual is open and straightforward to himself and others about what he is doing, how he is doing, and what are his intentions. Next is the blind self. So, when we say blind self, it is the information you don't know but others know about you. This part of your personality is well known to others, but not to you. It is the part of you that your blinkers conceal. The blind self shows the state of an individual, known to others but not known to him. It usually happens when an individual or a subject copies the behavior of some significant personalities unconsciously since his childhood. Next is the hidden self. So when we say hidden self, it is the information you know about yourself but others don't. This quadrant of the Johari window shows the state of an individual known to him but not known to the others. This is generally seen in the individuals who are introvert and do not like to share their private lives with anyone. The individual keeps his feelings, ideas, or thoughts to himself and do not disclose it in front of the others. And last is the unknown self. So when we say unknown self, it is the information about yourself that neither you or others know. The unknown self is the mysterious state of an individual neither known to him nor others know about it. Often the feelings, thoughts, or ideas go so deep down the individual that it becomes difficult for the individual as well for the other people to understand it. Every pane is a representation or symbolism of the self and others. The self stands for oneself and others refer to the people, group, or teammates that one is part of. It is an effective evaluation, trashing personal and public perceptions in a way instrumental for self-development and helps understand relationships. The next topic is the 4 areas of the self with others. These 4 areas are the open area, the blind area, the hidden area, and the unknown area. So let's discuss first the open area. So when we say open area, it is your personality known to you as well as to others. It is an open area where you publicly share what you have liked, your competencies, abilities, skills, and talents. An example for this is when you feel good of singing as you submissively sing in front of the crowd during school activities, and so everyone in the school also knows that you are a singer and could sing very well. Next is the blind area. So when we say blind area, it is part of your personality which is known to others but not known to you. An example for this is when you blankly identify yourself who is not good in singing, but when you tried singing, everyone is amazed to such extraordinary rendition of your voice. You are absolutely unaware of what you are capable of doing, or if maybe you do. There is a big doubt and ignorance or perhaps confused. But as far as other people hear you sing, they could really assess your potential and how good you are in this area. Next is the hidden area. So when we say hidden area, it is part of your personality known to you but not known to others, or it is otherwise known as facade. You seem to keep your potential as concealed self to public. It is where pride resides but not your authentic self. This is also known as fake area, where compared to an actual arena of life where you tend to hide who you truly are and pretend what you can be. An example for this is when you have secrets, past experiences, feelings, etc., and you keep this information private and do not share it with others. The reason for this may be the information might be personal to you, so that you are reluctant to share it with others. And last is the unknown area. When we say unknown area, it is your personality not known to you and not known to others. It could be the dark side of your personality that you are afraid to reveal so that others would not know and neither aware of. It is an unconscious area or a cache of your personality. An example for this is like certain feelings, talents, information, etc. fall in this area. The reason for this might be some traumatic experience in the past about a particular event or experiences which might be unknown for your ever. The person as well as the group is unaware about this till he or she discovers it. And that would be all for my assigned topic. And the next topic will be discussed by my co-reporter. Take it away, Joshua.
Good day, I am John Joshua Malicay, and I am the next reporter who will tackle the topic College, the Looking Glass Self, and the Shaping of Our Self-Image. So, before I discuss this topic, let's define first the theory of Cole, which is the looking glass self. So, when we say looking glass self, this basically means that our self-image comes from our own self-reflection and from what others think of us. The looking glass self describes the process wherein individuals base their sense of self on how they believe others view them. Using social interaction as a type of mirror, people use the judgment they receive from others to measure their own worth, values, and behavior. One may suspect that the people around contributes a feeling of uneasiness and anxiety. In broader sense, insights about feeling aloof, doubtful, and given the insecurities conspire this extremely metaphoric social interpretation, unescapable to create a toxic social environment. So, Cole's looking glass self theory states that a person develops their self-image based on the responses of others as well as their perception of how others see and judge them. So self-image is based on developing self from the other response and their perception of what they say to you. A person's perceptions of how others see them can result from both verbal and non-verbal responses from others. So when we say verbal responses, it may include comments made by others, whereas non-verbal responses may include body language such as smiling. According to Isaacson 2013, to quote, "A person's self grows out person's social interactions. The views of ourselves came from the contemplation of personal qualities and impressions of how others perceives us. Actually, how we see ourselves does not come from who we really are, but rather from how we believe others see us." Briefly, we project what others perceive about our potentials and abilities. It fuels us to become competitive and dynamic, or it could possibly make us frail. Sometimes becomes the boss of our self-image and help us become a person we always wanted to be. The looking glass self-theory states that a person's thoughts and feelings about themselves are formed based on the responses of others. The responses can be real or perceived. However, both can impact person's image of themselves. The looking glass self-theory also states that a person's thoughts and feelings are influenced by how they think others perceive them. This behavioral idea further describes that looking glass theory mirrors and is reflective of our self-image. In furtherance, the famous idea of Cooley, 1902, stressed that it has three methods like our appearance to another person is whether in better shape or not. B. Our imagination of others' impressions and how others evaluate and assess us. And lastly, C. The assumption on how others feel toward us taken from their impressions. So, in the first method, it is our appearance from other person. We imagine how we must appear to others, if it will be fit or not. Next method is our imagination of others' appearance towards us, if they don't like or they do to our appearance. And last method is we develop ourselves through the judgment of the others. Overall, the looking glass self-theory suggests that it is important to develop a healthy self-image. A healthy self-image allows a person to love themselves and is vital to their mental, emotional, and physical well-being. The development of one's self-image is an ongoing process. Therefore, this is always an opportunity to change and improve one's self-image. So now let's proceed to the next topic, which is the foundation of self-image. But before that, let's define first the word self-image. So when we say self-image, it is the personal view or mental picture that we have of ourselves. Self-image is internal dictionary that describes the characteristics of the self, including such things as intelligent, beautiful, ugly, talented, selfish, and kind. In this context, Isaac in 2013 defined his context with interesting questions stating, how can we know who we really are? Can you be sure of the real you? Separated from all stuff into outside social world? You have probably experienced that you have had a strong sense of another person's dislike for you, only to find out that this was not the case and this was person really like you. So, do you experience that you feel that a certain person doesn't like you? That in your point of view, he or she don't like you, but actually that person likes you. Actually, the real social world as we perceive it is often not only wrong but even serve as an illusion. If everyone faces a similar idea, I for one will agree what Isaac in 2013 says. All people want to be liked and be appreciated for talent or personality. But if we have a weak self-image, if we believe that the opinion of others are more important than our own, we can end up living our lives in accordance to other people's expectation. Sometimes, other evaluation mean more to us than our own. So, it is indeed true that all of us want that other people will appreciate us, that we want them to appreciate our talents or our personality, right? And then if we have a weak self-image, we easily believe what others says. If we easily believe in their opinions and we don't listen to ourselves and we depend on what they say, we can end living our lives in accordance to other people's expectation. You have to be you have to be show yourself. People differ, so a person's construction of an imagined self-image is done unintentionally. We are not consciously aware that we often try to conform to the image that we imagine other people expect from us. If a person develops a negative self-image, the self-esteem will tend to be low. If a person develops a negative self-image, the self-esteem will tend to be low. Self-image and self-esteem directly influence each other and a person's feelings, thoughts, and action. So if dili ka ganahan sa imong self, like your body or any part of your body, lisod para nimo to feel good about your whole self, positive self-esteem. Thus, the theory on the looking glass self describes that we are prone to change self-identity and ourselves based from the suggestion, evaluations, and impressions of others. But sociologist, psychologist Exen 2013 was right that one should develop an image based from what you think you need to become in accordance to your self-evaluation. Better change if it's need. Better not if you are already well-shaped and fine. So, in the theory of Cooley, which is the looking glass self, we are prone to change self-identity and ourselves based from the suggestions, evaluations, and impressions of others. But sociologist, psychologist, Exen 2013 was right nga ikaw nga magbago dapat para sa imong kagalingon, dili para sa expectation sa laing tawo. It should base from what you think that you need to become. You better change if needed. But if you think na you are more than enough, if you what have is more than enough, then there's no need for a change. And that would be all. The next topic will be discussed by the next reporter. Take it away, Sybert.
Good day everyone, I'm Macaron, and this time I'll discuss to you about the 4 direct approaches and secrets of changing habits. So let's start with the first among the 4 direct approaches. So the first is mistaken ideas. So mistaken ideas was proposed by Paul Charles Du Bois on 1818 to 1919. He is a Swiss physician and a professor of neuropathology. When we say neuropathology, it is the study of eyes and nervous system, including brain, spinal cord, and cells. So mistaken ideas is seen as the source of psychological symptoms, which Du Bois' approach is called persuasion, where persuasion is based on cognitive psychology. So when we say cognitive, it is the study of how people think. It focuses on thinking, emotion, creativity, and problem-solving abilities. So that's why incorrect ideas was seen as the source of psychological symptoms. So the second among the 4 approaches is the mistaken opinion. So Adler's point in mistaken opinion is it will not be the basis of your unsuccessful journey just because of your own mistakes, because mistaken opinion is based on your own opinion, right? So Adler's want to enlighten us about an individual with a mistaken opinion of himself and the world will exhibit abnormal behavior when confronted with situations which cannot meet successfully due to his mistaken views, because we cannot conclude if we are still working on it. Adler stated it because he saw that mistaken opinions are the source of many people's suffers. The next is inadequate differentiations, means not enough. So self-concept is distinguishable from self-awareness, which is the extent to which self-knowledge is defined, consistent and currently applicable to one's attributes and dispositions. The only constant in this world is change. Even yourself will change if time passes by. New learning will come or lessons. Last is the irrational ideas. So Raimi's goal is simple, and that is to change someone to become a rational thinkers, in which no more negativity. So he just wanted to make everyone turns to have some clear thoughts and have a positive minds. Sometimes you will think that you're not enough or you're not worth it. Sometimes you will think all of that due to different experiences or reasons, but as an individual, you'll understand yourself more. Your problems are the ways on how you understand yourself more. Next is the secrets of changing habits. So based on Charles Duhigg, once you have figured out your habit loop, you will identify the reward driving your behavior. So that can be triggered it. And the routine itself, you can begin to shift the behavior.